My name is Alex Bohr, actually working as an airline pilot for Swiss, traveling around the world. And I have a deep relation into art that I studied art a few years ago, and I'm married now to an art director in Basel. So aviation is my job and art is my passion. And when I was a young first officer, I was flying to Chicago and I saw the Andy Warhol retrospective in Chicago. It was around 1990, and I was deeply impressed by the work of Andy Warhol. A few weeks later, I was in Montreal to see a Magritte retrospective, and then I discovered that art is a new country, new land, and I want to discover more. So I began to visit museums in Switzerland, at home, and all abroad, and dived into the subjects of art. My first work what I bought, it was very funny, it was in New York, and there were at the MoMA. I went to the MoMA shop and I saw a huge building by Jackson Pollock from the catalog, and I loved it so much from the very first moment, so I bought this Pollock for like $30. It was a huge print, and I brought it home and I showed it to my partner there, and she looked at it and said, you're gonna hang this in the cellar, but surely not in the wardrobe. And so Pollock was the start, and then I was buying in the beginning more like prints, going into editions, and the first work, real artwork I was buying, it was an Ian McCallum graphic painting in the Sean Kelly Gallery about 6-7 years ago. In my opinion, the art market was getting more hot and hotter. In 2008, when the Lehman Brothers bank crash was, there was getting back to zero moment. So the art fairs, the art market cooled down, and more the collectors and the real art lovers were back in business. And I have the impression since about 2 years the art market is booming so fast that more and more investors getting into the business, and this is ruining the art market a little bit. That it's too much about money nowadays and not about the content of art. What I personally think is a sad evolution. I would say to learn about artists, I do most of the time at the internet. I Google them, I look what exhibitions they have, and then I'm gonna visit the galleries who are presenting an artist, speak to the galleries themselves or to the artist, and learn so more and more about. But the start normally is at the internet, and to get a profound knowledge about an artist, I'll try to see their galleries or the artist themselves. The perfect example for that was this first work I bought from Nazareno, and this is a lot with text, and you see the drawings, which I liked very much, and as soon as you go into the text, the gallerist translated them for me to learn about the problem the country was ruling, and you get closer into a country by learning what the art expresses. And I think it's intuition that you start, but then you have to read the text, translate them, and putting into the context of a country. And this is like homework, because you really have to work on it to see what is the meaning of it and what is the content in a special country. And I would say I learned much more about Brazilian lifestyle and the country itself by going into the art than just going as a tourist through the cities with a tourist guide. I think it's a perfect entrance into a new country that you learn by art and by the text of art. In one word, the Brazilian art for me is fresh. It's young and fresh, and I live in Switzerland, I'm in the German or in the Anglo-Saxon arts, I'm pretty well known. But for me the impression is when you come to Brazil, it's a lot of surprises. It's young, it's fresh, it's powerful. People still go in different directions, they try to find new ways. It's trend setting even. Sometimes I have the impression that art in Central Europe is a little bit copy-paste, a little bit not fed up, but it's it's not that fresh and young, like here in Brazil, and I like that most.